Hi guys, so today we are reviewing the Body Shop Fresh Nude Foundation. I have the shade 010 Chelsea Porcelain because I am normally the palest shade in every foundation, and this is the palest shade out of the 16 shades that this comes in, which isn't that big of a shade range, so I'm thinking that this isn't necessarily going to match me that well. So let's have a look at the claims. This claims to be light medium coverage, which isn't normally my thing. I'm much more of a medium full coverage kind of person, so I have a lot of imperfections that I do like to kind of keep covered. So it's enriched with English rose water, aloe vera. This hydrating formula leaves skin feeling beautifully fresh and comfortable throughout the day. It's a semi-matte, fresh-faced finish, SPF 15. It says 24-hour fresh moisture, so it seems to be kind of long-lasting according to the bottle. I'm looking forward to this if it is long-lasting and moisturising as it claims to be, because I need it to combat the dry patches on my forehead. So I'm going to insert some shade swatches right here, along with a few other of the foundations in my collection, so you can kind of see how the colour may match you. So this is the Body Shop Fresh Nude Foundation in Chelsea Porcelain. This is the MAC Studio Sculpt Foundation in NC15. This is the Remote Match Perfection Foundation in the shade Light Porcelain. This is the Milani 2-in-1 Foundation in the shade Creamy Vanilla. So if you're new here, I would love it if you could press the subscribe button at the bottom, and if you want any more foundation reviews, please give this video a thumbs up, and you can always comment down below to suggest some other foundations you may like me to try. So for those of you that are new here, my skin type is very dry and pale. So today I've got on moisturiser as a base. I don't really tend to use that much primer. So we'll see how half applies with a brush and how half applies with a sponge. So for one half of my face, I'll be using the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, and for the other half I will be using the Real Techniques sponge. Now I'm fairly pale and I'm hoping this shade will match. It looks a little bit dark to me. So I like a foundation to be medium to full coverage, because I have a lot of blemishes that I like to cover up. Oh dear. I definitely agree this is light coverage. You can see all of my blemishes coming through on this side, especially here. It blends out easily enough. I'm not a massive fan of the finish. It doesn't appear massively even, and all my blemishes are still coming through, which means it's definitely more light coverage. Also, the shade is quite dark, so if you have a look, my neck is very pale in comparison to this shade. I still feel like it's very light coverage. You can still see my birthmark, you can still see a lot of my skin. I don't know if it's because I'm not using enough, but I definitely agree. I see what it means by kind of a semi-matte finish. So it has a little bit of dewiness, but a lot of my skin is still showing through. Let's see if I can build this up. Definitely going back in with the sponge. I'd say that's definitely gone up to more of a medium coverage. A lot of my spots are definitely a bit more faded. You can see less of the redness, but it is still fairly visible, especially here. My blemishes are definitely visible. It's not a concealer in any way, shape or form. My under eyes are still very visible and dark. So I think I will use this to apply more coverage to the rest of my face. Yes, I'm definitely going to blend further down my neck, as this is not the best shade match for my skin. So I would definitely agree this is kind of a demi-matte finish, so it's kind of more matte along my cheeks and dewy on my forehead, which I do quite like, as my dry skin means it will kind of soak this up as the day goes on. And there should be less dry flaky patches on my forehead, which is definitely my problem area. but the coverage is definitely medium when builded, so it took a couple of layers to have a completely kind of medium coverage. I mean, I don't mind how it looks, and it's not settling so much into my lines because I have some quite deep lines here, which I'm quite pleased about. So the finish is definitely better with a sponge, but I'd say coverage wise it's the same between the brush and the sponge. So normally I don't set my face with a powder because it is so dry. I tend to kind of just set the cheek area a little bit so my powder products blend more evenly on the top, and I tend to set my concealer also. So I will be back once I have finished the rest of my face. It's currently 11:53. I will be right back. God, that tea is banging. Oh, lovely. So finishing that up took me far longer than it should have done. But this is what I finished with after applying everything after the foundation. So I did set my face with a bit of powder just on the cheeks. I still feel like my contour is a little bit patchy on this side. But apart from that, the foundation's doing okay. I'm still a little bit dewy on my forehead. It is quite matte everywhere else, so it's only here that it appears a little bit dewy. There's no highlighter here. It's not emphasising any of my dry spots, which is really nice. It does feel quite hydrating. But I don't know if I'd say I like it just yet. I think we'll kind of see how it wears throughout the day and see how the updates go. I used the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour longwear matte powder in the shade Light Ivory. On the rest of my face I used the Makeup Geek Contour Pan in the shade Infidelity. I used a Collection Lasting Perfection concealer in the shade Fair. I used the Rimmel Natural Bronzer in the shade Sunkissed. I used the Miss Sporty Instaglow blusher in the shade Flushed Pink. I used the Makeup Revolution Sun-Kissed highlighter in the shade Iced Kiss on my nose and my cheeks. For my eyebrows and for my eyes, I used the Makeup Revolution Redemption palette. On my lips is the Gosh Liquid Matte Lips in the shade Nugget Crisp. And then for mascara, I used the No. 7 Lash Impact mascara in black. All brushes and everything else that I use will be linked down below in the description box. Hey guys, so it's currently about 4:30, so I thought I'd give you a quick update so you can kind of see how the foundation's holding up. I think it's looking quite dry. For example, I'll zoom you in. So I don't know if you can see all the dryness on my forehead, and it's starting to crease on my upper lip. It's just generally looking quite dry, but otherwise I don't mind how it's wearing. So yeah, just a quick update. I'll give you another update at the 8 to 10 hour point. Hey guys, it is about 9:30, so I've been wearing this foundation for about 9.5 hours now. And to be honest, I'm not massively keen. Even from far away you can tell how kind of dry and cakey it looks. I'll insert some close-ups of my skin now. So as you can see on my forehead, it does look really dry and flaky. I mean, this is my main problem area. Although it hasn't settled into lines, which is quite rare, it still does look really dry and flaky. But yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't really recommend this foundation for dry skin. It's just all really dry and flaky, almost cakey, probably since I put that second layer on to get it up to medium coverage. This might work for people possibly with an oily complexion, but since it has those moisturising agents in, it may still be too much for people with an oily complexion. It may be worth people with a normal complexion trying to give this a go, but personally, just in my situation, it hasn't worked on my dry skin. Thank you for watching. It would mean a great deal to me if you could press the subscribe button down below. If you press that notification bell, you'll be notified every time I upload. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if there's any other products you would like me to try.